Hey everybody. Wanted to talk a little bit with you and give you some practices that relate to Tai Chi for handstands. Now, Tara and I were talking about this. We were kind of asking, does Tai Chi have anything to say about handstands? And I guess, well, there aren't really handstands in Tai Chi practice, but one of the things I love about Tai Chi is the purpose of learning Tai Chi or Kung Fu is not to get really good at Tai Chi or Kung Fu, accepting that getting good at these things are practices for life and for everything that you'd want in your personal life and then also in a harmonious society, harmonious culture, family, just everything around you, your relationship to it. So in that sense, Tai Chi has everything to say about handstands or whatever it is you want to do. And I think that's what makes it interesting, and maybe also what makes for an interesting yoga practice. So if yoga is just about, oh, I want to get that pose, maybe not so interesting after a while because it's just getting the pose any way you can. In some ways might be a practice that's good for life, in some ways maybe a practice that just solidifies some less good habits. So what Tai Chi would say about handstands is, let's look at handstands and create them as a practice that will be good for everything I do, for my health, my relationships, everything, my family, my culture, everything across the board. So Tai Chi has many things to say here. Let's focus on one thing at a time. So for this one, let's look at whole body. So one way to go about handstands would be, I have many parts. I have hands and feet and hips and legs and arms and got to turn all of that upside down. So I could go about one part at a time. Let's get the hand in the right place. Let's get the shoulder lined up right. Let's get the hips. Let's get everything just perfect. Figure out everything where it needs to be. Lock it in place one part at a time and lift the leg. Get that in place, hip square, and then just start this. So it's kind of like an isolationist leg swinging exercise. And you know what? I could do a handstand like that. If I did it enough times, it would eventually happen. And that's fine. So I could get a handstand, but I'm not sure really what I'm practicing there is very good for the rest of my life. Disconnecting one part of me from another, isolating, that kind of isolation requires much more effort, much more stress and tension on my body, and then it becomes what Tai Chi finds is the least interesting thing in combat or in any relationship, which is winning by strength, winning by force. The least interesting thing. The most interesting thing is the opposite, prevailing by skill, prevailing by harmony, by peace, connection. So here's a very different thing. And when the Tai Chi talks about whole body, it's the opposite of completely disconnected jumble of parts here. I'm going to figure out one part at a time and then use force to overcome that disconnection. So for that, Tai Chi would say, okay, first, before we even worry about a handstand, let's get the whole body moving as a whole body. So whatever I do, it's always not one part at a time, but a whole body just moving all together. So whether I'm on the ground or if I'm taking a walk, just all of me moves together. Everything, one body. And from there, let's give it a little shimmy, come on down. Let's try a bunch of different ways. There's not one way to come into anything. So one way to come into a handstand is I'm just rolling my whole body this way. I'm rolling my whole body back here. I'm rolling my whole body, maybe open a hip. I'm rolling my whole body back this way. I'm rolling my whole body forward again, maybe open again. I'm rolling my whole body back. Now, notice a little bit of the mechanics of what's going on here. So, of course, at some point, I make a connection with the ground and that part stops moving. My hands stop moving, but everything else, notice how it's moving like a whole body. You know, it's not that any part of me, if what you saw, see if you can catch this. Okay, and then if that's what you saw, then, and it's a strength exercise. Whole body's moving really nicely. Okay, I got to here. Okay, then we'll use strength to do it. And sure, I can do it because I have enough force in me to overcome that mistake. The last thing in the world I want to do is to practice the least interesting thing. So what I want is, you can use this, I use this on myself all the time, you can use it on yourself, is everything moving at the same rate all the time. And as long as everything's moving at the same rate, then probably I'm using my whole body as a whole body. So play around with that. You can come from here. You can come from up here. So you're just diving on over, using a whole body again. Anywhere you want to come from. You could probably come from all the way over here and just come into it. You know, that's fine. However you want to come into a handstand, a million different ways. Many different ways as there are our own uniquenesses in our bodies. Always look at, am I getting all of me to be one, all of me? One me that's every part connected to every other part. Some harmony, some peace. Not using more force in one part of me to overcome some disconnection in another part. All of me pretty much feels the same right now. And that's really what you're going for. And that's one way of looking at Tai Chi for handstands.